Boots, Kevin Garcia with Fight Hype. So I just wanted to get your response or thoughts. You know, after your performance is obviously going to invite people like we were just talking about, Ryan Garcia, to say, hey, you know, he may be susceptible to my hook. Or Bud, after the fight, tweeted, and he gave you like advice. He didn't say anything crazy, but it felt a little cryptic. But what's your response to those people who are going to now obviously try to cast doubt on your ability to perform against those dudes, Ryan or Bud?
I love it. You know, they ain't gonna do nothing but add fuel to the fire. You know, for the next performance. You know, that's what I need. That's what I want. You know, that's what I'm saying. Next fight gonna be even better. You know, I ain't worried about nothing. For real. You know what I'm saying? I know my next fight I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be better. You know, go back to with the team and we'll focus on listening.
I think you're a lovely guy.
I've
got a good fight for you. Jaron Chukhazadian. I'll tell you what I'll do.
For what?
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do.
For what?
I'll tell you what I'll do.
I want the winner.
I'll tell you what.
I want the loser.
Oh, look.
Just tell me.
The lights
Tell
on
me
now.
what money.
Flare.
I want the winner.
Someone's lent on the light, by the way. Who's ever leaning on the wall is lent on the
Somebody
light.
That's
I'll tell you what we'll do.
flare.
I'll tell you what
Hit
we'll
the
do.
light.
I'll tell you what we'll do. I will put the fight on. You against Cameron. Okay? You
Ooh,
beat him.
At least you can get some money for that.
We'll get you a major fight. All right?
Against who?
Against a
The one that
big
moves
featherweight, Conor Ben, maybe Jaron Ennis. We'll see.
Can we get that in writing?
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to go.
You want kind of bet?
Jaron Boots Ennis and Jaron Chukhazadian stepped into the ring with a clash that had fans on edge, as many hoped Ennis would deliver a statement performance. Ennis, known for his explosive power and relentless pursuit of a knockout, faced Chukhazadian in a fight that ultimately left both critics and fans with mixed reactions. For Ennis, it was an opportunity to fulfill a mandatory match, keep himself active, and avoid a long layoff. For Chukhazadian, it was about survival and resilience, as he aimed to keep up with one of the division's rising stars.
They had a good performance. I didn't, I was in the locker room, so I didn't really see the fight. We were obviously celebrating everything, but he won. Win for him. Just get to the next one.
Despite being an underdog, Jaron Chukhazadian brought confidence into the fight, hoping to challenge Ennis with his footwork and movement. However, he found that Ennis's power was overwhelming and forced him to focus more on defense than offense. I did my homework to beat Jaron, but he is too good for this. I thought I'd throw more punches, but ended up taking even more. Jaron's admission reflects the skill gap he encountered against Ennis. Despite preparing to push Ennis, Jaron was ultimately outclassed, realizing that his plan to attack didn't hold up in the face of Ennis's power and precision.
I made my homework, but anyway it was not enough to beat him. He real champ, I wish him to... I no need to wish him, he become undisputed anyway. He's too good for this welterweight.
How did the fight play out compared to your expectations, given that you faced off already?
I throw more punches and I take more punches. I don't know. I let this all to my coach and boxing analytics. I don't know. In first fight, I didn't take so many damage. He actually hit very hard, and I feel it in this fight. So he really powerful. He throw punch. It looks easy, but it can't do.
Yeah.
In hindsight, Karen shared that he tried his best to put up a good fight but found himself struggling against Ennis's relentless punches. While his defensive strategy was meant to buy him time, it became clear that Ennis was simply too strong. I tried doing my footwork, but it didn't work for me. Ennis deserved this win. Karen's acknowledgement of Ennis's win shows his sportsmanship and awareness of his limitations. Despite giving his best effort, he realized that Ennis's skill and power were on a different level, which led him to accept the result with respect.
But I want to ask you first, what are your thoughts? Did you feel like you did enough to win?
No, I feel like I'm losing this fight. I do my homework, but it was not enough. You know, Ennis is really great champ. He deserves it. So I think he future undisputed world champion in 147.
For Jaron Ennis, this fight was less about a personal challenge and more about fulfilling a mandatory requirement to stay active. Although he acknowledged that it wasn't the fight fans had been hoping for, Ennis understood the importance of staying sharp rather than waiting for another big opportunity to come his way. Nobody wanted to see this fight, but I didn't want to sit back and wait another year. This was mandatory. Ennis's comment reflects his dedication to staying active in his career. By taking on this mandatory fight, he aimed to avoid prolonged inactivity and maintain his conditioning, showing his commitment to moving forward even if the opponent wasn't high profile.
I mean, it decreased because of the opponent, the opposition. Nobody really wanted to see this fight. I took this fight because I wanted to, stay busy. And I ain't want to be sitting around for another year. I ain't trying to be stale and other stuff and things like that. So, I took this fight to stay busy. And that's my mandatory. I had to fight him.
Though he's been facing criticism for his performance, Ennis remained focused on sticking to his game plan and ensuring he came out victorious. For him, the fight was a means to an end, and he kept his sights on future matchups with bigger names. Many boxing analysts and fans had high hopes for Ennis, with some expressing disappointment in his performance, while others defended his strategy. Sean Zittel, a well-known boxing analyst, felt that Ennis's approach lacked efficiency and that he could have delivered a more decisive showing. Boots gave an underwhelming performance. The fight he gave us was inefficient. Zittel's critique reflects a sentiment shared by many who expected a stronger showing from Ennis. By calling his performance underwhelming, Zittel emphasizes the gap between fans' expectations and what Ennis delivered in the ring, suggesting that he missed an opportunity to make a statement.
It was overall an underwhelming performance, despite dropping Chukhazadian in the 5th, hurting him multiple times in the fight. Underwhelming because we don't hold Ennis to the same standards that we hold the other 3 welterweight title holders. If this was Barrios or Norman or Emantas Stanionis, then hey, good workman-like title defense against a solid guy. But Ennis is the guy, myself included, that we've talked about this incredible talent, and he does have that with blazing hand speed and punching power and reflexes and all the kind of stuff that jumps off the screen, but ultimately turned into underwhelming performance and is becoming too inefficient. And maybe some of these habits have been developed because at a time where he deserved to be fighting guys in the top 10, he had to fight faded old smaller guys like Thomas Delorme and Sergey Lipinets, and that allowed him to be comfortable and fall into bad habits of relying on his talent too much. Ennis can do all these amazing, spectacular, talented things, but the metaphor I want to use for Jaron Ennis tonight and in his last couple fights sometimes, is sometimes you'll watch highlights of a basketball player and his highlights are amazing. You see he's got a natural smooth stroke from the outside. He's got amazing ball handling skills, and at the rim, he's athletic. He could finish above the rim. And then you look down at the box score, and he averages about 20 points a game on 41% shooting, 40% shooting, 42%. Meanwhile, a ball player not as talented is scoring as much or more and shooting higher from the field. Why? Because he's efficient. Because the talented guy sometimes, he wants to cross them 2 or 3 times and then step back and try to hit a 3 off a step back with a hand in his face, when all he needed to do was catch the ball off the swing pass, pump fake, blow by, easy 2 points. And like Bam Rodriguez tonight,
While some questioned Ennis's ability to fully dominate his opponents, Brian Norman shared a harsher take, stating that even though Ennis defeated Karen, his performance felt mediocre and regular, lacking the power fans expect from him. Even if Ennis took down Karen, he is still mediocre and regular. Boots didn't show any strength. Norman's statement is a blunt critique, suggesting that Ennis fell short of showing his usual explosive style. By labeling the performance mediocre, Norman implies that Ennis didn't showcase his full potential, leaving fans wanting more.
No power, man. Say what, P? Mediocre? You say mediocre, man. That's mediocre, man. Regular, no power, bro. Even if he get him out at this point, he regular. He regular, bro. Is this your team?
Blair Cobbs had something interesting to say.
I mean, he deserves it, and everybody came out to represent. It's great.
Absolutely. You want that fight next?
Absolutely. Make it happen.
That's what we're here in Philadelphia, right? That's what we're doing in Philly, right?
Yeah,
trying to get that fight.
So,
all right.
So let's make it happen. Let's turn out for Philly. He put on for Philly, and it's time to do it, man. Why not conquer my hometown?
What did you think of his performance?
I don't know. I give it maybe a B. Or okay, for his ability, for what he's able to do, and this opponent, which is pretty good, I say I give it him an A. I give him an A. I mean, it's nothing different that he's done outside of like what he's been doing, you know. So it was a good performance, and they did their thing.
In contrast, Greg Heckett offered a different view, suggesting that Ennis's readiness for bigger names in the division meant this match was more about obligation than genuine rivalry. He highlighted that Karen appeared focused more on survival than truly challenging Ennis. Boots has already been in that fight before. He needs big names now. Karen just wanted to survive. Heckett's comment positions Ennis as a fighter ready for elite matchups, while viewing Karen as someone who wasn't fully prepared to push Ennis to his limits. Heckett suggests that Ennis needs tougher opponents to bring out his best.
It's boxing, man. Shit like this gonna happen. Boots clearly wanted to fight, yeah, but it's like I already beat the guy. I don't want to fight him again. I really don't want to fight him again. I want the big names, but you know what I mean. He did what he could. You know what I mean. He didn't really. Karen didn't put himself in spots to be stopped. He felt the power. He went down in the 5th. All right, I'm not doing that no more. We're not doing that. I'm not getting hit with that no more. So he did what he could to survive.
Despite the mixed opinions, Floyd Mayweather has publicly expressed his respect for Ennis, advising other fighters not to underestimate him, as he sees great potential in the young fighter. I tell other fighters not to sleep on Boots. He's one hell of a fighter. Mayweather's endorsement reinforces Ennis's reputation, positioning him as a talent with the potential to reach the top. By urging others to not sleep on Ennis, Mayweather highlights his belief in Ennis's ability to thrive in the division.
So many young fighters that's up and coming that we don't talk about. I'll come on record and say, these guys, that kid Ennis, ooh, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him. I tell these fighters, don't. Hell of a fighter. I feel like he don't get the credit that he deserves. We talk about a lot of fighters at welterweight, but we don't talk about him. And I think that he's gonna be a problem.
Shakur Stevenson offered a balanced view, acknowledging Ennis's skill but suggesting he could ease up on his pursuit of knockouts. For Stevenson, Ennis's focus on power might occasionally limit his technique. This was a good fight, but Boots was trying too hard. He shouldn't always be looking for a knockout. Stevenson's advice is rooted in experience, suggesting that Ennis should prioritize a balanced approach rather than relying solely on knockouts. By focusing on his technique, Ennis could become even more versatile in the ring.
Tough fight against Karen. What'd you make of the fight?
I think it was a good fight. Karen was really prepared. He was sharp. Boots, he kind of was really trying too hard, but Boots a hell of a fighter.
What kind of advice would you give Boots if you were his corner man?
I'll just say, don't always be looking for the knockout boxing. So, you know, he a good boxer. I think when he kind of was landing the big shots, he was kind of letting it come to him. So that's what I think. But he a hell of a fighter.
Yeah, totally. A tough loss for Karen. So if he was to go against, say, Crawford, how would you break that fight down?
Hell of a fight. But I'm about to get out of here.
Right on. Thank you, Shakur.
Finally, Terrence Crawford added his own perspective, warning Ennis about the unpredictable nature of boxing and advising him to stay focused. Crawford's words serve as a reminder to Ennis that even the best fighters can face setbacks if they let their guard down. I did see the fight, but you shouldn't get too comfortable in this game. All it takes is one slip-up. Crawford's comment is both a compliment and a caution. Recognizing Ennis's talent, he reminds him of boxing's unpredictable nature, urging him to stay vigilant and humble. Even the father of Jaron Ennis had something interesting to say. Jaron underperformed because he wasn't really willing to fight Karen due to what happened the last time. Ennis was just getting frustrated in the fight.
His performance, I mean, he won. He won most every round, so. But he wasn't as sharp as he used to be, to me. Yeah, I don't think Boots really got up for him, man. He really didn't want to fight him anyway because of what happened the last time. So I don't think he really got up for him. You know what I mean? You see what he was doing in it. And he was getting frustrated because the ball kept on grabbing and holding him.
Share your thoughts on this matchup. Do you think Jaron Ennis delivered, or could he have done more? And who would you like to see him face next? Drop your predictions and subscribe to Boxy Hub for exclusive fight breakdowns, post-fight analysis, and all the latest updates in the boxing scene.